Okay, folks, we'll kick off. People will join as they join. Welcome to this session where we're going to talk a little bit about this Blue Carbon Plus Challenge program that we're going to be delivering in Singapore from May 5th to 9. This is a really important space and one where myself, Wayne Murphy, I'm one of the founders of Hatch, has been very excited about is this whole blue carbon space. We previously ran a program in Singapore last year, focusing on technologies that are looking to address the challenge in the space. But we're really, really pleased to have institutions like Conservation International and the Nature Conservancy also seeing the critical importance of this space. And without their funding and support, this particular initiative wouldn't come to be coming up very shortly. And we're delighted to partner with both CI and TNC in delivering this particular program, which is very unique and probably the first of its kind out there. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce the panelists here, the people behind making this happen. Gracie, if you want to give yourself a quick introduction.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name is Gracie White, and I'm the Director of Global Ocean Investments for Conservation International Ventures, which is CI's in-house venture philanthropy fund. We invest in nature-positive enterprises in emerging markets through a blend of debt and equity vehicles, and I am a technical advisor to the BC Plus program.
Thanks, Gracie. And Christine?
Thanks, Wayne. Hi, everyone. My name's Christine McClung. I work for the Nature Conservancy, but here today I'm putting on my BC Plus hat as one of the co-leads and program directors for the program. I was brought on specifically to lead this program kind of from the startup stage. So it's great to be here and really excited to introduce this challenge to you all.
Great, Christine, thank you. And without Sarah's help here, Sarah, I'm going to say a quick hi. The webinar wouldn't be in play. Say hi to everybody.
Let me unmute real quick. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name's Sarah. I'm the marketing lead for Hatch Blue. Appreciate you all being here.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. All right, we'll get things moving, guys. If you can go to the next slide. This program is going to be facilitated by us three, and really what we're looking for, and the reason for this particular session is we want to find the best, the most interesting, the most ambitious, passionate partners who wish to drive their business further, their idea further, or to widen their network in the blue space. And particularly focusing on carbon, blue carbon. Next slide, please. The applications are open, and many of you, we've had several applications already, but just to say, we'll give you some details at the end of this session where you can go and apply and find out more detail. But we want to start by maybe educating the audience about, what this program is for, who it's directed at, and is this something for you? Is this something that's going to benefit you and your business, your idea, and your initiative? We've got three very capable, critical partners that can provide all sorts of inputs, all sorts of support. And amazingly, there's also a cash prize for the three projects that we believe as a group that has the most potential to build a sustainable business model into the future. So we're trying to also support those companies and projects that may not be revenue positive, but that's no reason for them not to partake in this initiative, because we want to find the best, the brightest, and as I said, the most ambitious and the most passionate projects out there. They're the ones that we want to support into the future. So the BC Plus initiative launched in 24 by both Conservation International and the Nature Conservancy. And its real focus is to accelerate business models that incentivize the blue carbon ecosystem, conservation, improve local economies, and with technical assistance and grant funding. So this particular project, this program that's happening from the 5th to the 9th of May in Singapore, is really going to focus on all those maybe gaps in your business that you're missing, maybe how you're talking about your project. Certainly Hatch is very experienced in supporting and enabling companies, early stage projects in the blue economy to get to that investor ready stage or get to that sustainable business model where, you know, revenue comes on stream. So the impact of your technology can go well into the future. And so what is this Blue Carbon Challenge? It's a first of a kind program for early stage projects and businesses that rely on and seek to conserve and restore blue carbon coastal ecosystems. As I mentioned, there are three $50,000 prizes that will be revealed on the 9th of May at our demo day. But the program itself is a 1-week in-person studio with experts in the blue carbon space. You'll have one-to-one sessions with the Hatch Blue team, and that is all about driving your marketing, your business model, your investor readiness. And of course, some very deep and valuable technical assistance from the CI and TNC teams. We are going to have a finale demo day, like we did last year with the Blue Carbon Studio, where we hope to bring a very connected, well-networked audience, all with a passion and an interest in the blue carbon space, to come and listen to your pitches and maybe drive some opportunity for you in terms of maybe investors, collaborators, partners. And on that particular day, there will be those grants awarded to the best presenters. Next slide, please. And in terms of those particular prizes, there are 3 on offer, as we've said, but they're going to be focused on 3 different levels of projects. The first one, and we're looking to recruit 3 teams that are essentially community-led enterprises. And there are enterprises that are owned and or managed by community members. So they can be social enterprise community projects. And there will be a $50,000 prize for one of 3 of those level companies selected. Next, please. The next stage is this pilot stage. Those early stage companies or startups with projects that maybe haven't validated their model, haven't validated the technology yet, but they're in that very early stage. And we're looking and seeking for 3 projects in this pilot early stage and there will be 3 of those again with a $50,000 prize for the best of those 3. Next slide, please. And then finally, there will be 9 companies in total, and the final 3 will be in this scaling stage. Those companies that maybe already have revenue, maybe have already raised some funds, certainly have validated their product and their product market fit, but they're looking to network further and scale opportunities further. So we're seeking 3 of those companies, and there will be a $50,000 prize. And I think one of the interesting things for us in terms of having companies from different stages is that normally during these boot camps or programs that Hatch typically run, the amount of peer-to-peer learning is always really critical. And everybody can learn from others, be it either if you're a pilot stage or a community-based project. The guys who have the scaling are at the scaling stage don't necessarily have all the answers, but combine the learning within this community that we're trying to build and this BC Plus challenge that we're going to deliver. We're hoping that all of you step out of the process with lots more information, lots more technical ability, really getting closer to that investor ready stage, and hopefully enabling your technologies to impact the blue carbon space, which is really what we're looking to do here. Next slide. So why is BC Plus needed? Why are the Nature Conservancy and Conservation International and ourselves involved in trying to stimulate this? Well, all of you who are looking to scale a business, you will know that investment is limited in the sector. It is a pretty nascent space, but a very critical space for the future of the planet. And accessing carbon finance is very complicated and costly. So one of the, I think, byproducts and impacts of this program is that we're hoping that as a result of all the inputs that will be generated throughout the 5 days in particular, that you're going to come out of it with a renewed vision, a renewed kind of plan and strategy that can hopefully enable you to tap into those finance opportunities. And within TNC and Conservation International, this is their space clearly, and they're investing money in these particular sectors. So it's a really good opportunity for those who are applying to this program to get connected to the right people like Gracie and Christine, who are evaluating investments in this sector. And this particular program is really looking to revitalize this model by building entrepreneurial capacity, supporting clear regulatory recommendations, and providing technical assistance to grow your enterprises. So there's lots of inputs. There's also, obviously, it goes without saying, a huge and urgent need for coastal conservation. The decline of blue carbon coastal ecosystems deprives communities of essential ecosystem services. Biodiversity is challenged, and of course, lots of greenhouse gas emissions. So, there's a real need for people like you out there with these ideas to be connected with people like us, so that we can work together to, really put a dent in this challenge, and hopefully come up with some disruptive technologies and ideas to make a difference here. And of course, these community-led innovations and interventions, leveraging local knowledge and to create solutions that fit the community's needs is really critical part of this process. But we need to find and support sustainable business models that's going to enable you and your technology and your service and your ideas to get to market. And this is one of the real key challenges here. So I'm very hopeful that throughout the process of selecting all of you for this program, these 9 various different projects at different stages, those who will apply and maybe not be selected, we're also looking to connect with those ideas that maybe just don't fit right now. But we're looking to identify those projects that ultimately us as a group can help long-term to get to a stage where their ideas, their teams, and their technology will start to make a difference and have an impact. So it's a really good community to be tapping into. Next slide. So really setting out the expectations for this program and who are we looking for. I know I see some familiar names and in the list here attending today, but for us, the approach here and the highest priority criteria is this. Ecosystems, applicants and projects should focus on one or more of the 4 BC Plus priority ecosystems: mangrove, macroalgae, tidal marsh, and seagrass. If you're outside of that, folks, this is not what we're looking for. Secondly, we're looking for a very strong founding team. Hatch is very familiar with working with early stage companies. Sometimes the technology may not be where it needs to be, but critically behind that, it needs to have a team that will grow and make it happen. And this is a critical part of the selection process here. So we're looking for a strong and compelling project leader, founder, and team. And they're ideally based where the business is being developed and operates. We want scalability and replicability in terms of projects that can be scalable, replicable, and there are innovative new ideas. We're looking for coastal community projects that are actively involved with and or directly benefit coastal communities. Climate mitigation, a very clear and measurable climate mitigation benefit. That's what your technology should be able to demonstrate. And of course, from a revenue perspective, generation of revenue outside of carbon credits. There's lots of companies working on MRV and business models depending on carbon credits as a revenue source. We are not looking for those type of projects for this particular program. Next slide, please. So the timeline for this, folks, we launched a couple of weeks ago on the 4th of February. The application deadline for applications would be April 1. We hope to have the cohort selected before the 21st of April, ideally. And we would encourage applications now. Don't wait till the 30th of March to make an application. We will maybe start the process of selecting companies as and when they apply for those companies that we believe are outstanding applications and should be part of the program. So in some respects, it's a first come, first serve, but applications will close on the April 1st deadline. We will then, when we select the cohort, we'll have a pre-program session around expectations. We want to prepare you as much as possible for those 5 days, and those 5 days will go by incredibly quickly. And then on the May 9th, we're going to have a finale demo day. As I mentioned, the companies and projects that will be part of this particular BC Plus challenge will have an opportunity to share their technology, their service, their company to an audience, hopefully a full audience of blue carbon enthusiasts and supporters, and within the ecosystem. So lots of networking opportunities to avail of there. And then the grant winners will be announced there and then. And then there will be some post-program work, guys. We can't do everything in just 5 days. And I know the team of Christine and Gracie and their respective CI and TNC teams have an army of insights and resources that we can help look to support you into the future. Because as the old saying goes, it takes a village to rear a child. It certainly takes a whole community of supporters to build blue carbon successes into the future. So that's kind of a bit of a wrap up in terms of what the program's all about, the people that are involved, the actual setup of the program from the 5th to the 9th. There's going to be lots of experts that will come and talk to you and help you and guide you through it during that process. And we're hoping that we will have a positive impact on you and your business for those who are selected. Next slide. So the brief here, ultimately, folks, is we're going to limit this to 9 teams. We're looking for 2 people per team, 3 at pilot stage, 3 at a community-led stage, 3 at pilot stage, early stage, and 3 at scaling stage, and 2 representatives from each of those categories for those teams. We're going to complete this program in 5 days. It's a very intense program. We'll have lots of people, lots of eyes on your business and your project, trying to improve it. And we expect you to put as much effort in as we're going to put in over those 5 days. There will be industry, business model, pitch, and investor guidance. We've got an army of people in Hatch that work on this every day. So we're hoping to improve how you walk and talk about your business, to improve your chances of success in building a sustainable business model in this space. It is equity free. There is no funds or equity taken from your cap table. This is funded by Conservation International and TNC. They're going to pay for your flights, your accommodation, and your food throughout the program, those 5 days. We don't want any really talented group or team to miss out on this opportunity because of money not being available, or you can't afford to do it. So I think this is one of the amazing things about this program, is that everybody, whoever they are, whatever their background or location, you're going to have a chance to come and avail of the benefits of this particular program. It is a global call, folks, from all over the world. So we're hopefully expecting a very diverse team. I would encourage as many female applicants, of course. We have a real interest in driving diversity in this space. And then the 3 50K grant awards to 1 team per category in the community-led enterprise, the pilot stage, and the scaling stage. So I think in terms of opportunities, if you're a business that is, or initiative or project that is working in this space, in these specific categories, focusing on these particular areas, guys, this is a wonderful opportunity for you to connect with some really cool people, very knowledgeable ecosystem and stakeholder community. And of course, you can walk away with it with a nice injection of cash that can help you on your way to building a successful business and project going forward. So we're very excited to see who those 9 entities are going to be and who those 18 people are going to be. I think that's just it really in terms of an outline. We have some questions, or people can ask some questions. We've got a number of questions already that we're prepared to share. Next slide. Okay. So for those of you who are online, I think you've probably read quite a bit about this, but maybe if there are other questions that you may have that we can answer as a group here, feel free to type it in the chat or.
Looks like we've got one question
We got one question
from Fred. Quick clarification on coastal communities. Can this include freshwater bodies, for example, freshwater mangroves? Christine, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, sure. In terms of freshwater, for mangroves, I think we would accept ideas for freshwater mangroves, but for some of the other categories like tidal marsh or salt marsh, we are looking for more coastal protection areas. So, I mean, really the goal is kind of ocean coastal ecosystems. So because of kind of the protection of the coast and the benefit that they provide to coastal communities. However, I think for mangroves, because of their kind of carbon sequestration ability, freshwater would likely be acceptable. But in terms of other freshwater ecosystems like tidal marsh, we would want to keep that at like salt marsh coastal specific.
Okay. Okay, here's another question.
We have some questions as well that we've picked up along the way throughout this promotion of this webinar. One would be, which types of blue carbon businesses are excluded from this challenge? I don't know if Wayne or Christine, you want to take that one?
Go, guys.
Sure, I'll get started and then I'll pass to Christine in case I miss anything. But as we touched on briefly, we're really looking for businesses that derive, that are able to combine, coastal production, aquaculture activities, or other activities along coastlines with ecosystem protection. So linking protection and production in a way that is not dependent fully on the generation of carbon credits. And also, we're also excluding kind of MRV technology as well. We feel like there's plenty of other programs and investors that are focused on MRV technology at the moment. And so our primary focus is really on the nature-based solutions. I don't know, Christine, if you have anything to add.
No, I think that's a great response. And, I think for us, we're really kind of open at this point to solutions that you all are seeing or implementing that do that kind of production protection together. So yeah, aside from things that just solely rely on carbon credits, that's really something we are looking for, things that generate revenue beyond carbon credits. But in terms of kind of business models and what we're open to, I think we're trying to be very opportunistic and see what innovations are out there. So we're not trying to limit this too much.
Excellent. We have a question from, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this name correctly, but maybe Myhali. NGOs that have a spinoff business, they're wondering if NGOs that have a spinoff business could participate. Can you participate from any country?
Yes. NGOs with a spin-off business, I think, would be very eligible and encouraged to apply. And you can absolutely participate from any country. But certainly, we're focused on blue carbon ecosystems, and blue carbon ecosystems are primarily found in certain regions more than others. So that's probably the only the only geographic restriction there is that there must be a blue carbon ecosystem involved.
I think it might be worth mentioning here, just to reiterate or double down on that, this program will be taking place on site in Singapore, which there is funding to travel to, but it's a global call for applications, but we will be actually conducting the program in Singapore in person. Next question from Heather. Is macroalgae farming eligible if the biomass is being harvested and farmed alongside other compatible species, shellfish in particular, that contribute to ecosystem benefits despite shellfish not being part of the core habitat?
Yeah, that's a great question. That would absolutely be a great model to consider and submit. We recognize there are sometimes these kind of co-benefits that happen from the production of something. So I think as long as we can look at it and see the protection benefit based on the business model, we'd be open to that. So I've myself have seen some of those opportunities in macroalgae and combining that with shellfish. So it's something we're interested in and already thinking about. So yes.
Important question from Navin. And just to reiterate again, they ask, what extent is there some cost coverage of transport and accommodation? The flights, a per diem, and accommodation will be covered by the program to Singapore. You can find out the nitty-gritty of that on our website if you'd like to look at the amounts for that in our FAQ section. But yes, we are covering costs.
We've tried to estimate the cost of getting there at about $1,500 per flight per individual. Accommodation in Singapore is pretty expensive, so we've put a budget together there of about $150 per evening. And then in terms of per diem, in terms of food and sustenance, about $50 per day. So we've run these type of budget programs in previous programs, and I think it should cover the majority of people. Some people are living closer to Singapore, so the costs can be a little bit less. Some people that we may select maybe further afield, and it may cost more than $1,500. But we're hoping to balance that to make sure that we can accommodate and support everybody. So they just need to turn up on the Monday and get going. But what I will add, guys, in terms of some of the questions around should we apply, you should apply regardless, and if you're working on a project in the blue carbon space. I think getting to know and be connected with the likes of Christine and Gracie and others in this network is really an important part of you developing your technology and your business wherever you are, even if you're not selected. It's good to get connected and get connected into the ecosystem. So we would encourage all applications so that we can get connected with you. And as I said, if your business isn't ready for this yet, it's not to say that if we do this again in the future, that by then we'll be reaching out to you and encouraging you to apply, because maybe at that stage you've come further down the development cycle and maybe it's perfect timing then. But I think for all of you entrepreneurs out there and projects, this is part of the hustle that you need to be doing to drive your business and your projects forward. And it would include certainly getting to know Christine and Gracie and their organizations, and of course, Hatch Blue. So apply either way. There's another question there maybe for you, Gracie.
Yeah, the conflict of interest one. So is there any potential conflict of interest to consider regarding the project we apply with? For example, if we wish to apply with a project that is part of a partnership with Conservation International in Mexico. My feeling is Conservation International and TNC have hundreds and thousands of partners around the world. And if we were to exclude all of them, we'd probably be excluding a lot of really great ideas and opportunities. So we are open to working with projects and companies that are already partnering with our institutions.
Excellent.
Great.
I have our next one from Kasturi. Wayne was slightly covering this as well, but will macroalgae feed for turtle conservation be considered, or does it have to be a standalone income generating project? It's a good question.
I don't know, guys, thoughts?
I think we might have to know more about it to
Yeah.
answer definitively. But we are certainly interested in like blue carbon related feed products. So a couple interesting ideas that we've seen is using kind of like saltwater agriculture like Salicornia as animal feed, or using fermented mangrove leaves as a feed. So certainly like we are interested in innovative business models around feed. But I do think there probably does need to be some kind of a income generation tied to the project. Yes.
I would say too, if you're thinking that your project, or wondering rather whether or not your project would be considered, apply, and you can elaborate on what your project is within the application. And then we can get a better understanding of what you do and whether or not you might be a good fit. Is there any implied obligation of working with either CI or TNC on monetization and management of the carbon credits derived from the project/company?
No, there would be no requirement that I could foresee. However, important to note that, we are looking to go kind of beyond carbon credits solutions with this particular challenge and with what BC Plus is trying to address. And so it is something both TNC and CI are very, very well experienced in. And so I would hope that if that is an area that you're interested in exploring, our expertise could be beneficial to that and to that thinking. But I don't think there would be any requirement that we would require you all in terms of carbon crediting and processing.
Next question from my Holly. They would like to know if we are going to use these projects to raise more funds for these initiatives as a way to demonstrate that it is possible to make good money with Carbon Zool and related initiatives, or what is the philosophy behind this initiative? It is important for me to know how to guide my speech and know if it is worth the time or not.
Yeah, I can take a stab at this one, and Christine can probably add, but I think as part of this specific, business case challenge, as well as BC Plus more broadly, we're looking to catalyze follow-on financing and follow-on support beyond financing for blue carbon positive business models. So we see this as really just a first step in identifying and supporting some of these solutions, but we really want to focus on helping these solutions grow, helping them find more financing down the line, whether that's through us or with other organizations, as well as supporting with technical assistance.
And I think maybe just to add to that, this is a really cool shopping window, for want of another description, in terms of showcasing talent and technology. Investors like Hatch, we're always looking for great deal flow, great companies, and great entrepreneurs to invest in. And sometimes they're not all at the right stage at the right time. So this initiative for me is about enabling that potential and getting really great ideas matched with great teams, so that the kind of funds that we can develop into the future can flow into the right hands and have the biggest impact. And I think this is where this initiative for me is going to be very exciting, and getting lots of smart people in the same room at the same time. And good investment opportunities are rare. And hopefully this project, with all the inputs, all the knowledge sharing, all the support, and the networking, will enable those 9 projects, companies that we'll select to move on quicker and be able to talk to the right people, again, to enable their technology to have the impact we all want it to have. So I think it's a good place for you to start and connect with the right kind of people.
Telly has a question about whether or not their project would fit who we're looking for. That is, would a blue carbon finance project that pilots financing for communities be eligible if it is incorporating adaptation and resilience for farmers within the respective targeted ecosystems?
My sense on that one is as long as there is some kind of revenue generation outside of carbon credits, it would be eligible.
Okay, most recent one. How much data will be required to be shared and how publicized would the company be as part of the program? Just a bit concerned about the competition.
Okay, it's a good question, and it's one that we face quite regularly. We're in the game of trust and confidentiality. We just want to support and drive the development of these projects and companies. You share as much data as you want. We're not going to force you to do anything, but in our experience, at least, the more you put into this process, the more you get out of it. If you're just going to be sitting there with your arms folded for 5 days and not willing to talk about anything about your business, well, then there's no point. We don't seek to use your data in any way. Everything is trusted with confidence and confidentiality. We're not going to share it with your competitors. But in terms of publicizing you and the company on the program, yes, we want you to know, or the world to know, that you've been selected for this program. If you have been selected for this program, there's something that TNC, CI, and HatchBlue see in you and your technology and your project. So that has to be a good thing. And we will use it. We really want to profile this very important space. And the people who are going to make the difference in this space are you, the participants, with your ideas and your innovations and your passion and ambition to achieve and implement your technology. So we want the world to know that you're out there, and that maybe opens up new connections and networking opportunities and maybe investment opportunities. So there's lots of marketing led by Sarah here and the respective CI and TNC marketing teams to get your company out there and get it visible. And that's what we need to see happening.
Okay.
If that answers your question, hopefully.
I'm going to stop sharing for now. We have about 20 minutes left. I'm going to go into just a few questions that we do commonly get that we'd like to go over and answer. I don't have a business, but I have ideas. Can I apply?
Yes. Yes, you can apply. We're really interested in ideas and maybe they haven't been implemented yet. Maybe you're waiting to take that first step into entrepreneurship or, whatever that next phase of the project is. And I think that we're well placed to support turning ideas into reality.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, Gracie. We, through our studios that we run globally, typically always meet people with ideas. Some of them are very technical, maybe scientists and researchers with great ideas, but they don't know how to turn that into a business. And the offering from the program can help put some of that together, build a plan around it, and hopefully. Can you turn off your?
Sorry.
It's okay. I'm in an echo chamber here. And hopefully, a business starts with an idea, folks. And I think within the group here and the wider supporting network, there's lots of expertise to help bring that idea to life. And this is the reason why both the Nature Conservancy and Conservation International are funding this project, is to find those people with these ideas so that we can help develop it over time to, again, make the impact that we all wanted to have. So yes, idea generators out there, come apply. We'd love to talk to you and hear from you.
Great. Another question. I think we've covered this again, but let's just go over it one more time. Can I apply if I live outside of Singapore?
Yes.
Please do.
Anywhere in the world. We want you wherever you are, from Timbuktu to the tip of South Africa, wherever you are, we want to hear from you. If you've got an idea, a project, a company, a technology that you feel fits this very specific requisite program for exactly what we're looking for, if you fit that scenario, we want to hear from you. We want for you to apply, and we will be in touch with you.
Yes, we're casting our net far and wide for this program. A question around what the program actually looks like. I don't know if you wanted to go over that week and what they can expect to get out of the program.
Yeah, really good question. And typically it's probably a 9-hour day, from 9 till 6 p.m. every day. We have advisor sessions or mentor sessions from all sorts of stakeholders that are interested in the blue carbon, be it technical experts or financial experts or industry experts. Will come have one-to-one sessions with you. So all those questions that you maybe ever wanted to ask, and maybe can't get connected to these people, we're hoping to put some really cool people in the same room as you. The mentor sessions typically are 90 minutes long, with Q&A involved, but is an opportunity for you to network and meet these people. Typically, you're probably looking that week, maybe 15 various different mentor sessions from the likes of Christine and Gracie, along with some of our in-house experts and then outside experts that are very excited to meet you guys whenever you arrive in Singapore. So it's a very full week. We'll do a bit of a tour also. We'll get you out and about. It's not all going to be classroom work. And of course, the finale day is a wonderful day to celebrate, technologies in this blue carbon space, and also to celebrate you as the people who are bringing the great ideas to market.
Okay.
Any more questions?
Yeah, I think just a couple more, but we don't have to, go till the end if we're out. But maybe just something to cover quickly is the caveat about which level of employee can needs to attend the program.
Gracie, do you want to take that?
Sure. We do ask that at least one of the attendees be either the kind of founder or CEO of the project or business.
And the reason for that, guys, if you're going to meet a very strategic connection, you don't want, for example, your marketing person to be having that conversation. It's you as the CEO or the founder, who's got the relevant experience to engage with that person, and they want to hear from you as the founder in terms of your ambition about your business. So it's incumbent upon you to make sure that you have the right people representing your project, your company, in front of the people that are going to be coming along to engage with you and advise you and support you. So C-level ideally within your organization, in order for you to get the max benefit from this.
Great. Question that we thought you might have about the 50K grant. How will it be awarded or evaluated come the Blue Carbon Demo Day?
Christine?
Yeah, so basically the end finale day that Wayne was just talking about is going to be a pitch competition. And so we're bringing together a group of judges that are very familiar with the blue carbon space, are really interested in BC Plus solutions, and they'll be judging kind of the final pitch competition and then making decisions based on the idea and the solution and its kind of alignment with BC Plus. And so they'll kind of be our final decision makers, but we're hoping they'll also be involved somewhat in the week as well and be around in terms of their expertise and their kind of interest in your solutions. So we want to bring together a really strong group to support you all in these solutions, to help with the judging, and then ideally, yeah, be really excited for what these solutions offer and potentially bring in, other funding options and interest into the 9 solutions overall.
Maybe a follow-on question for you there, Christine, is what happens then after the program?
Yeah, so after the program, we as kind of BC Plus are still interested in learning from the solution and the businesses. So we would ask for a very simple, not super intensive report or just communication with our team, likely a couple of times over the following year, just to understand kind of where your business model is, how it's evolving, how you're using that 50K in funding to really help the business stand up and grow. So yeah, we are hoping that, businesses and solutions do want to continue engaging with us, and we will request having some interaction with you all in a very simplified manner. But our goal is that these solutions and our ideas are something that, the BC Plus team might want to support long term, might have interest in long term. So for us, it's finding ideas, entrepreneurs, and solutions, and ideally looking for ways for the BC Plus program to continue supporting them.
Okay, I just have 2 more questions, I think, to end us out here. When will I find out about the status of my application?
Well, applications close on April 1. Ideally, the week following that, we'd look to make those selections. But that's not to say if we get an outstanding application today, and one that gets us very excited and one that really hits the sweet spot for why we're doing this, they could be selected today once the team and the panel agree. So we'd encourage you to get your application in as quickly as possible, because we're looking to fill those 9 spots with obviously the best projects. So April 1 is the closing date. That week, ideally, most of the decisions will be made. But in the meantime, if there are some outstanding solutions coming forward, we're not going to waste time in waiting to update them with their selection.
We just had one more question pop in on the Q&A forum. If the project is a prospective public-private partnership, is the coordinating organization eligible? So if it's a prospective public-private partnership.
Gracie, Christine?
Yes, Gracie.
Yeah, I would say yes. I think we'd probably need to know a little bit more about the dynamics of the partnership, but my initial feeling is yes.
Look, guys, I think overall, what this is a very unique program. This is the only second blue carbon focused initiative that has ever been done. And I think if you've got an idea, no matter what it is, if you think it fits, and we've been very clear about, the categories and the areas that we need you to focus on. We're very open. All we want to see is great ideas coming to the surface. We want to get to connect with those people generating these great ideas. So if in doubt, please still apply is really what we're saying. And maybe it could be something that you're working on that might need just a little pivot in a different direction. and then we're on point, and then we can assist. But really, this is all about entrepreneurship. It's all about creating opportunity. But if in doubt, apply, because I definitely think you won't regret it, and certainly in terms of the people that you're going to be meeting over the course of this process and project. I think all of these people have nothing but good intentions to help you succeed.
Thank you, Wayne. My Holly, again, I hope I'm saying that name right. Says cheers from Ireland. So they're hearing a familiar accent there. Last question, and then I'm just going to put in the website for where to apply to the program, just to round things out, and just to triple down on who we're looking for. What would make a good candidate for the BC Plus Challenge?
Ooh. We'll be here all day, folks. But I think for me, and I guess Hatch Blue typically is always working with entrepreneurs and people with ideas. And what we see typically in a successful project is a very, very cohesive team, very committed and ambitious and passionate. They're subject matter experts in their space. They really understand the technology that they're building and the solution they're bringing to market. They don't necessarily have to have all the answers, but there has to be an energy and a spark in what they're doing. And then for people like this trinity of supporters here, CI, Hatch, and TNC, that we can then bring in and fill all the gaps to help you get to where you need to be. But it starts with an idea, but it needs persistency. It needs talent, of course. It needs, as I say, that subject matter expertise, but just this energy and desire to succeed no matter what. And they're, people are the ones that drive the successes, not the technology. But they're the people that are going to come up with the ideas. So we're always very excited to see the kind and range of applications that we get for these programs. It blows me away every single time. So whoever you are, wherever you are, maybe you're sitting there on your own at a desk looking out at a salt marsh somewhere, and you're wondering how you can bring your business further into this world. And I think in this project, I think you've got a really great opportunity to get connected and enable you to get where your ambition is looking to take you. So I think that probably wraps up in a good way what we're looking for here. And we're very excited to meet you 18 people, wherever in the world you are. And one thing I can promise is the team here will work every day very hard to enable you to get to where you need to be. And of course, importantly, for your technology to have the impact that we need it to have. So excited to meet you all in Singapore on the 5th of May. In the meantime, we just have to get through the application phase. So get them coming in here and let's get connected. Okay. Gracie, thank you so much for your input as always. And Christine, your two organizations, as I said, are amazing in supporting this initiative. And I know we're going to find some good successes, and I can't wait for it to kick off in the not too distant future. So thanks everybody for joining. Reach out with any questions. The website has all the connected emails, etc. And looking forward to reviewing your applications and seeing you in Singapore, the lucky few. Okay, thank you, folks.